I grew up in a Catholic church, and I definitely didn't feel like I belonged in a Catholic church at all.
Which is a lot of people that I've seen in
Just stay in a church.
Okay.
I think that's good. I think we're.
and a few other churches I've been to, they've been very iffy of people who came from any denomination that wasn't their own. So
So outsiders?
I wouldn't say that, honestly. That's not really
Like other Christians?
Yeah, but I wouldn't use the term outsiders.
Yeah. Maybe.
How about
Different
Christians?
How about wealthy Christians?
Yeah, because other branches
Poor.
of Christianity. Other beliefs.
Other beliefs.
Yeah, because outsiders could mean something, could necessarily have more
Yeah,
negative.
I was doing like outside Christians, like
Yeah.
Christians, but
That's
like.
not wrong, that's okay.
Beliefs.
Apparently.
I can't believe you actually used the word youngins. No, you have to understand, he's adamantly trying not to be, like when I say I miss someone, something fierce, he teases me because it's a southern thing. So youngings, Lucas, youngings.
It's not southern because it doesn't have the N apostrophe.
Youngins. The only time I've ever heard youngings or youngins is down here. The only place.
You saying you ain't from around here?
How about politicians?
I don't know.
Wait, are you being serious?
Some do and some don't.
Or the poor.
No.
No, you can be poor and not be homeless. Because they don't feel like if they go to church, they don't have anything to wear to church. They feel like, if they went, they'd be made fun of.
And I have never heard of another.
What about KU?
Youngings again.
I've also heard from
The word of the day.
I've also heard, this is really, really weird, but I heard this first time, I just thought it was very strange, but I've heard from the people at the university, I went to Memphis University, they said I'm too smart to believe in God. And that was just a strange thing I ever heard on Marty. I heard some senior people that said, well, I'm too smart to believe in God.
told you that?
So intelligence? Not so much intelligence, but just they think they're
Intellectuals?
maybe extreme intellectual. Don't say, but I say extreme intellectual because my
I'll say extreme intelligence.
my
Geniuses.
believed that he was too smart to believe in God, and then I had Revealed Methodist some of that also. It was just really weird. He goes, well, I can't believe those things. I'm too, well, it was just really strange. I've heard it from several different places.
I wonder if those are like speech.
Exactly. That's what it is.
I wonder if those are sort of like the people I run into, they just feel like they have questions that the church can call about.
I think you're on the extreme intellectual. You got that right there. You get that right, yeah. Same thing.
Well, we've got a good list going. Let's move over to the other side. Well, actually, more toward the middle, because we're going to need the other side in a minute to.
So let's put a little.
Yeah.
Put a line.
Little divider.
Divide it into 3 sections.
Just put a line down there.
There you go, right on.
You sort of already have a divider for the other side, they just won't show up.
Right on. See?
All set up for you.
That's
So how do you think
Yes.
I didn't know?
Okay.
all right. All right, we've got a good list going of potential groups of people to reach out to. Now, I want you guys to think for a minute about before you found this group or any other group that you might have found even in addition to this that you actually felt like you could be comfortable and be a part of. Think about what were some things that you were looking for, what were some qualities in a
Non-judgmental.
I'm reading my mind.
Okay, one at a time.
But those are kind of together.
Yeah.
Oh.
Come on.
Shake the pen.
Hold it upside down hold the tip down for a little bit.
Really?
Didn't work.
Bad girl.
Non-judge.
Oh, I know that's called judgmental, I was just thinking,
Yeah.
It's working fine now.
yeah.
You said to shake it around a little bit.
Okay.
Someone like yourself.
Let's wait till he's
Yeah.
got his pen ready.
Oh, it has a clicker.
Before you put it on there, make sure there's a whiteboard.
Yeah.
That's a nice house.
I just took it back in like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Look at it and dream about it.
But I'll stop talking.
All right, we had somebody else say accepting.
We're just saying, goes with
Oh.
non-judgmental. Good non-judgmental / accepting.
Dog face.
Happy.
Huh?
Dog face.
Yeah, this is.
What else? I heard something else.
Welcome.
Happy and welcome. Okay, so we've got welcoming and humor now.
Oh, welcome.
Yeah.
This is something.
I love the little happy face there.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Did you really expect it would be?
Luke, did you really think it was possible for you to be straight?
Yeah, I full run. Boom! I must be lost tonight.
He can't even write straight.
Forgot what was the other one.
Can't even think straight.
I heard what happened. What was it? Oh, humor.
I don't think the acceptance is people like-minded people. Like-minded people, is that the same as acceptance? I don't think it's
How
like-minded.
about open-minded people? People who are willing to accept people who are different than they are.
Yeah.
I like open-minded more.
I like
because
open-minded.
We might not
Yeah.
agree on everything,
Yeah.
but we can at least love each other, right?
Yeah.
Loving.
Okay, hold on.
You wanted to be Vanna.
We're supposed to be like-minded, not just minded people. We do have minds.
Well, you know what? I've got the.
Open.
I've got the-
Just put open.
I think, like, for me, I'm thinking, I've seen some of y'all on others too. Someone would give someone like me a chance, you know, because like, some churches you have to like, have been there 50 years to do anything, you know? So, just.
Opportunity?
Opportunity, chance, you know?
Or you can say opportunistic. I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding.
Now you're just making up words. It's not-
No, that actually is a word, but I don't think that it falls under opportunistic. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's a U somewhere. in there.
Yeah,
LPPUR.
That one is so what?
O-P-P-U-R, not E-R, O-P-P-U-R.
That's spelled wrong.
I think it's still spelled
It's
wrong.
O-P.
We know
It
it's
is.
I don't
not.
care, it's still the same.
It's
You know what?
still
I'm not
spelled
gonna
wrong,
judge you, so-
but it's fine. We get the idea. We get the idea.
It's pretty.
All right.
There we go.
Anybody else?
We're moving on 10 minutes now.
Yeah.
Anything else?
All right, so what I want to do, you can have a seat for a few.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Are you absolutely sure?
I'm sure.
Okay.
All right, what I want us to do is think back to the scripture that we read when Jesus was talking to the woman at the well. He says, what I'm trying to have us do by coming up with these groups and coming up with what we were feeling and what we were desiring in trying to find a church family is pretty much putting ourselves in the hearts and minds of these people. And in actuality, when Jesus met with this woman at the well, that's exactly what he did. And we have the perfect model for outreach with what he did here. The first thing that Jesus did was he went where he was called to go. It may not explicitly tell us that, yes, the Father told him go these exact steps, sit down at this exact well. But we know, with Jesus being God in the flesh, that what he did was guided by the Father. And what we need to do, and the first step that we'll need to do in outreach is to be guided by God. And sometimes that's going to mean going some places that we may not want to go. We may not feel comfortable going, but we need to pay attention to, is God saying we need to do this? So the first step is that willingness. The second step is he put himself out there. Once he was at his destination, he was sitting down at the well, and, well, this woman was right there. And Scripture even tells us, for a Jew and a Samaritan to associate with one another, not done. Not done at all. He put himself in a situation that society would not have looked kindly on in order to do ministry work. And I think all of us, at one time in our lives, have seen a little bit what that's like. Society may not look real kindly on a couple of us sitting in McDonald's having a cup of coffee with somebody who's homeless. It may not look real kindly on us going to a drag show to support the GLBT community. It may not look very kindly on us trying to go to job interviews and like job expos and things of that nature with people with severe disabilities. Because, well, there's a whole lot of stigma in society that believes that people with disabilities pretty much need to be not seen and not heard. So having people in the workforce kind of aggravates because they're forced to confront situations that they're not real comfortable with. There are all kinds of situations that, in order to do effective ministry, in order to do effective outreach, in order to have a church family that's as diverse as all these things on our list, we need to be willing to do. So in addition to being willing to follow God and where he's calling us to go, we need to be willing to step out of our comfort zones and associate with people and meet people where they are, whether they're people that we typically have associated with in the past or not. The next thing that Jesus models to us in this conversation that he has with this woman is he met her where she was. He didn't do what I have heard Christians throughout my life do and go in with both barrels with immediately, do you know Jesus? There are some people that I've met who pretty much will introduce themselves to somebody by asking them if they know if they're saved. And there are some times that I've seen where that approach to a perfect stranger actually hasn't gone completely horribly wrong. But more often than not, when you don't know somebody, when you have not established a relationship with somebody, that's a little assaulting. The approach that Jesus has is not just with this woman, but with everybody that we see him ministering to and ministering with in Scripture is he gets to know them first. He approaches them as people before approaching them on any spiritual matters.